Hey, so what's up, guys? It's James Anderson here, just kind of hanging out in the backyard, kind of relaxing, just kind of enjoying the day here. And I was going through my messages and actually getting caught up with the other box. You know, that other box you get where people message you that you don't know. And one of the things that I'm gonna address, in this real short video is this. So many people message me and say, well, that a lot of times it's hard to it's hard to carve out time to make it to like the local meetings, the local trainings that's in their area for all different types of companies. It doesn't matter what industry they're in, but when you're in the direct sales industry, you probably got some local training, some local things that's actually set up. And I cringe when I hear people say that, well, unfortunately, I got this going on this day, so I can't make it. Now, I know life happens, and I know that, sometimes you're not going to be able to make it. It's just a 100% thing. You're not going to make it. But you can make it. You can make your choice to be at least 95, 99% of the meetings that you actually have in your local area. But the thing that people, really hit me with the most is they say, well, it's so hard because it's always on a Saturday, or it's so hard because it's always on a Wednesday or Tuesday and things like that. And unfortunately, a lot of times in the messenger, when I get messages like that, I just tell people, hey, look, you got to suck it up, because there's one thing that I always tell people to put in perspective, and it's simply this. Take the approach that you would be with your job with how you would be with your local trainings or your local meetings. And I say it like this. Let me give you guys a simple example. So Saturday morning is my work day. My family, my wife knows that every fourth Saturday that it's time for me to go to work. It's time for me to go train. It's time for me to go present. It's time for me to do our Saturday deal here in the local Metro Detroit area. But here's the thing that really cracks me up is when, I'll get a call and say, yo, do you want to go out to breakfast? And I'll say, absolutely not. I'm about to go in. I'm about to go clock in, as I said. I say go clock in. But, and I take that approach because I think about it, well, in the mass majority, if I were to treat this like my employment or my job, and somebody were to call me, Monday mornings at 10:30 and say, hey, James, you want to go to breakfast? Most of us will sit up here and say, yo, I got to go to work. I can't go. What you mean, man? I'm working. So I apply that same extreme attitude with regards to my business opportunity meetings. So let me give you another example. Let's say, for instance, it's Tuesday night, and you got an opportunity meeting to go through with your local area, and you might get roped into going to hang out at the bar or something like that, or going out with some coworkers afterwards, But let's take this for example. Let's say, for instance, you had to go to a second job, or you had to go to a second shift, or you had to go pick up your children, or you had to go do something else with regards to maximizing your time. You'll quickly tell your coworkers, I can't make it out this night. I'll catch you guys next week. But when it's time for the opportunity meeting and the same thing happens, or the training meeting, now you say, well, I'm going to hang out with you guys there and I'm just going to show up late. Well, we all know that late's never is going to happen, and you never end up showing up. So I say this in this whole short video. I'm doing it in about 5 minutes. I'm at 3 minutes here. Is that we have to put the same intensity that we would be in building somebody else's dream as if we're going to build our own. And I'm not saying a cliche thing, because that's not the type of person I am. But I do say this, when it's time for you to go to work and for you to work in your business, it's time for you to work in your business. Clock in on yourself. I literally, I write in my notebook, my planners and stuff like that. And I write what time I'm going to start working on my business and what I'm going to put out and what I'm going to work on. And I make sure I dedicate my time to that. And I try not to let anything capitalize upon that, because really, I be my own boss, and I be my own boss not in a literal sense, but I really be my own boss. Like, okay, James, you didn't get started working at 6 o'clock. You didn't get going. It's 6:30. So now you got to go until 11:30 and not 11 before you can actually take a break. See, I do the same thing when we're talking about the local trainings and things like that. Although I am a big part of our local trainings with training and presenting and things like that, I still make sure that, hey, when it's Saturday and it's time for me to go to work, like in any direct sales company, I'm ready to clock in. I'm ready to go, and I'm not doing anything else, Saturday morning except for that. I look back, just me personally, I haven't, in the last, I think it was like 57 meetings in the last 2.5 years in the local area, I haven't missed one. And that's not to say that life doesn't happen. That's not to say that, you know, people don't have extreme circumstances where they gotta miss, like funerals, your kids' birthdays and stuff like that. I understand, but all the rest of the 51 Saturdays out the year, where are you? If you do that every week, or the last 14, 15 Saturdays of the last year and a half, where are you at? Your birthday or funeral, somebody ain't dying every single Saturday, is it? So if they are, then maybe you need to reevaluate what you're using for your time. So, I would say this, and it's just my quick tip for everybody, especially if you're new in the business, is definitely focusing on the training and the local meetings that you have in your area if you're in some type of network marketing or direct sales. And the reason why I say that is because if you can't show up and do a quality presentation, or if you can't show up and run a training class yourself with a team of people there or what have you, then unfortunately you just don't know the information yet. And that's what those meetings are for. They're to drive traffic, obviously for the opportunity, but they're also to give you a recalibration of your skill set to help you out, to move you forward. And then from there, you'll just start picking up the skills, almost organically, because you're there. You're sitting up on the information. You're going to start learning. And guys, there's really not a lot of time to carve out. You're talking twice a month, once a week with most network marketing companies. Pencil out the time, treat it like it was work, because here's the deal. If it was your job, you'll tell everything else or everybody else, you'll tell them, no, you got to go to work. So let's do the same. So that's it, guys. James Anderson, sitting back in the backyard, chilling out, thinking, answering messages, answering questions, and of course, I'm going to always look to provide you guys value. Again, if you ever want any information about what I do or how I help people with finances, you can go ahead over to jda-solutions.com. That's jda-solutions.com, or look me up on any type of social media at I am JD Anderson. I make sure I always provide value for you guys, and thank you guys. I love you all, and I do this because of you guys. So you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.